Hey guys, just wanted to take another chance and opportunity here to thank our sponsor for Yardback podcast and now YouTube shows as well. Thanks again to Far One Solutions, specifically their Ear One product. So for you that are listening on the podcast, go ahead, find us on YouTube because I am actually showing you the product this week. Now remember, this product is huge for the time we're in right now. It's actually a piece that connects to your mask, your face mask, because obviously we all have to wear them because of COVID. It connects to your face mask and connects to your ear more comfortably. Now, you might think, well, why do I need something for my face mask when it already hangs around the back of my ear? Well, let me tell you from personal experience, that string can get very irritating and very annoying, and also is a pain in the butt for earrings, hats, haircuts, all of the above. So what this piece of equipment does is hooks onto your mask, fits very comfortably in your ear, as I'm showing you now live on our YouTube. Check it out. Check it out. Fits perfectly into the ear, nice and comfortable. I got a fresh cut this weekend. As you can see, my barber lined me up. Don't mind my bald patch up top. But what it does is it allows the barber to shave all around your ear, get you a nice clean cut. Very comfortable. You can wear these for hours. Healthcare workers, other jobs where you need them in all the time for mask wearing. Highly suggest this product, the Ear One by Far One Solutions. Like I said, it's one of a kind. For a limited time offer through the end of February, you can actually go onto their website, faronesolutions.com, use the promo code YARDBACK_sports, and you get 10% off of every order you make between now and the end of February. So go ahead, check out their website, Far One Solutions, use promo code YARDBACK, one word, all lowercase, space, sports, all lowercase, and you get 10% off of every single order between now and February 28th. One more time, that is Far One Solutions. Check out their socials. Big fans of the show, big fans of their product. Check them out. Thanks again for the sponsor, and a one of a kind, awesome product, the Ear One.
Nice stash, Connor.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Is that an effect, or did you just go to the barber today?
It's an effect. I was trying to throw on Yardback Sports logo as a background, but I don't know how to get to that. So I just came across his mustache instead.
On like
I like it.
Was it like Charlie Chaplin? What is it?
There's also,
I got the player hat on.
for those watching YouTube, this is a little Easter egg for the final segment. Wink, wink.
Oh wow, dropping some hints. Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
All right. Well, speaking of pirates, as we saw there, they're known to drink a lot, and so are we. So we're going to the Bev cart first. Sean, what are you sipping on this week?
I'm actually sipping on the Cavs shutting down Andre Drummond and not playing. And usually, I mean, Nolan, we were talking before. What was Andre's Draymond Green's comments?
Draymond was just saying that he doesn't like the fact that teams can kind of just shut down players whenever they want to trade them. But if a player were to request a trade or demand a trade, then his name gets dragged through the mud and everyone thinks he's like a quitter of the team. But the team can just so quickly be like, nope, we're going to trade you, so you're going to sit down and not play this last week. So that's kind of what Draymond was saying.
And I get everything he was saying, and I think it's very valid. I'm sipping on the Andre Drummond thing because he's not a part of the Cavs' future. I would like a return for him, but I don't really care what we get. We already have our future center. We already have our future guards. So I'm excited to see what the Cavs look like without him on the floor because he isn't a part of the future. And we get to see that now. And, if he gets hurt, you're not going to get anything for him.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm sipping on that. I like the move.
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing with Blake Griffin too, but more specifically Andre Drummond because that's what our future looks like was without him.
And I'm definitely with Draymond with the whole player empowerment movement.
For sure,
love that.
For sure.
But I do feel like if a player and a team comes to an agreement, like, hey, we're going to trade you, and they're like, yeah, it's probably best for both of us, then, you sit them. But I'm with Draymond in pretty much every other case.
Yeah, I mean, if Andre Drummond agreed to it and didn't have a problem with it, I mean, it's a win-win for both,
exactly.
for both parties. Because the last thing I'm sure he wants to do is go out there and 2 nights before a potential trade to like Toronto, an ACL goes.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's the last thing he wants.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I forgot to do the beer crack before that one. So
you have one job. You have one job.
Connor, what are you sipping on this week?
Well, I am actually sipping on me saving rivers. Trying out the
the Curacao. I had those last week.
Yeah, trying them out. I mean, they're pretty solid. They fit right into the seltzer, or people may, seltzer market. Nice, bubbly.
Yeah.
The alcohol percentage is a bit lower than I'd hope. It's only 4.5. I'd like to get above that 4.7 rank if I'm drinking a seltzer, but that's neither here nor there. So big thing I'm sipping on is this weekend, first weekend without football, as we all know. It was Sunday, just chilling, scrolling through my Hulu, and I saw PGA Tour was on. So I watched some AT&T Pro-Am at Pebble Beach. Nice, relaxing Sunday with Valentine's Day. I did some things in the morning, but got to watch some golf in the afternoon. But what I'm really sipping on is Daniel Berger on the 18th hole, draining a 31-foot putt for eagle to win the tournament.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. Like, think about how sick that is. You're down one stroke or whatever it may be, and you need an eagle to win. Dude takes the lead, -8. The second place was -16. But, I mean, dude, to hit an eagle on the 18th hole to solidify your first place finish, that's freaking sick. Yeah, that's like a golfer's dream. That's a game 7 at the buzzer 3-pointer. That's a walk-off home run. To hit an eagle on 18, just imagine stepping up to that tee box thinking, okay, the best case scenario, I birdie, trying to go for a par, keep my tie. All of a sudden, you rip off an eagle on the 18th green from 31 feet.
That's crazy.
I'm sipping on that. I'm sure he's sipping on that still. I'm sure everybody that watched that is sipping on that. Yeah. So that's my bev cart this week. Absolutely loved it.
I will say, what you just described right there, I feel like was the most like husband dude thing in the world. So yeah, hung out with the wife for Valentine's Day. We did our thing. I watched some golf after. Like, that is just the most like married man thing I think I've ever heard of.
It sounds like a phenomenal day, if I'm being honest. Like,
I mean, it was nice. We had a Valentine's Day breakfast. We stayed in. Whipped up some dope thing in our cookbook. Had some like sweet potato toast, eggs Benedict, avocados. I made some ghetto ham and bacon in the air fryer.
Let's go.
Yeah, it was a good morning. And like I said, just followed it up with some golf on the TV. Went out to the rest of the fam's house for some dinner. So yeah, good Valentine's Day and Daniel Berger. Congrats to him.
Nice, dude. I'm glad. All right. Well, speaking of golf, my bev cart's kind of along the same lines. So Adam Sandler, put out a video today actually doing the Happy Gilmore swing. So initially I'm just sipping on that because that's awesome. The Happy Gilmore swing is in everyone's repertoire that plays golf. You've got to do it at least once in your life, real or not. I'm also sipping on the fact that he crushed the ball. I don't know if you guys saw the video.
Oh my God, it sounded so good.
Yeah. So yeah,
it sounded like 280, 300 down the fairway.
Yeah, he hit a rocket with the Happy Gilmore. Oh yeah, how'd you know?
I usually sit around like 280 to 300. If I really want to put a charge in it, probably like 325. And just you guys know, it is confirmed. Jack Williams did let us know that I did hit the ball over 325 yards, possibly 350.
Okay.
Back in a couple segments ago.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
He did verify
to the booth.
Yep, that's just true. He did verify it. You just say so many assertions about like your athletic life that like they kind of get crossed sometimes,
I know you guys get confused with me and LeBron and me and Tom Brady.
Yeah, something like that.
Line.
Yeah, something like that. I do have one more bev cart though. I came prepared like Connor this week. I just started The Sopranos, which is known to be one of the greatest like shows ever. So I started that. Watched Goodfellas the other night. So I'm on a big mafia kick right now. So I mean, 4 episodes in, it's going pretty well so far. It's a lot of fun, very intriguing. So I'm sipping on The Sopranos this week.
It's one series I have not seen. I have not seen The Sopranos. I will watch it after you've given it. How many episodes are you in?
I'm 4 in right now.
So let me see. Give me a review in like 2 episodes from now.
Got you.
If it's worth it, which
I'll finish the first season. I'll finish the first season. I got you.
All right, and then I'll probably hop on and watch it.
All right, but yeah, it's great so far, dude. It's awesome. It's really cool. I'll save my review for later. But
what are you watching on?
HBO.
HBO. Okay.
Yep. HBO. Yep.
Damn, how you get HBO, bro?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, this guy.
I got the connects.
Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let me know then.
All right, Sean. What'd you throw in the bonfire this week?
All right. So I love the NFL offseason.
Oh, it's amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I love it. But I love pro days, which shout out to myself because I am actually having my own pro day film. I'm filming my pro day tomorrow, and I'm gonna put it on our YouTube channel. But I'm throwing in the bonfire the reaction and the hype people have. Did you see that Trevor Lawrence where he threw an absolute dot, like it felt like 60 yards?
Yeah,
my reaction though was everybody was like cheering and like happy. Like that's the number one pick. What did you think was going to happen?
That's true.
Like all of them, like when Justin Fields, when all these guys, Andrew Luck, when they would throw dots at their pro days, like people go nuts. Like, of course. Like what do you expect?
That's true. I feel like if you have a bad pro day, if you're a quarterback prospect,
that's something. But like
you should have a good pro day because you don't got a defense bearing you down. Like
if there's no D line rushing at you, and Trevor Lawrence, in a dome, drops back, no one's pressuring him, no one's covering the receiver. You expect him to let it rip and to connect with the hands. Like, what do you expect? So it's not that the pro day. I think they're good. It's the reaction of like people cheering, like yeah, like what did you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on ESPN covering it live on ESPN2 or it's like ACC Network? Like, I thought that was
honestly.
Now ESPN is comical. And I talk about them a lot because I watch them a lot because there's no Yardback Sports Network yet.
Yeah, what the hell?
I have no choice but to watch ESPN. But I thought that was funny. I will say though, Trevor Lawrence had one throw that I thought was spectacular. The comeback route on the right side of the field. Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw that one specifically, but that was a bullet. It was an absolute bullet. They've said he's the best prospect at quarterback since Andrew Luck and John Elway.
Yeah.
So, he showed that in his pro day.
Yeah. I feel like – oh, sorry, you got it.
No, I was just going to say, like, and again, like pro days they're good. So I'm not arguing about or throwing the pro day in the bonfire, just the reaction. Yeah. It just cracks me up.
No, just going off of that, like – pro days are great for teams and for organizations to go there and like look at, mechanics and other things like that. Like as an average fan, like I don't know, what do you expect? Of course they're going to throw dots. Like unless you're like looking at specific things, unless you're like an advanced fan that like knows the ins and outs of football super well. It's just kind of like, yeah, he threw a dot 60 yards. I thought he did do that in college for 3 years.
Yeah.
No, but I'm with you on that. Got to thrown in the bonfire.
So I was at Target the other weekend.
Love Target.
With my beautiful wife, and we're just shopping. I don't even know why we were shopping, but we were just shopping for things at Target. That's one of her favorite hobbies.
Target's fun.
And she's like, let's go check out the lamps. And I was like, no, we don't need a lamp. And she's like, yeah, we might need a lamp. And so another couple overheard us talking about whether or not we need a lamp. And I'm like, Maddie, we don't need a lamp. And so this guy comes up. I'm wearing a Browns hat. Guy comes up, approaches me, and goes, okay, so first of all, I could see this guy out of the corner of my eye. Because for those of you who don't know, in terms of top of the line athlete, I'm on that pedestal. And then top of the line spy recruit, I'm also on top of that pedestal. So every time we're out in public, I know, like, I have a UAV on at all times. I know where everybody's at. You can't run up on me in a store ever. You will get clocked, clean clocked. It doesn't matter. And he comes up to me and he mentions my Browns hat and he goes, "Oh yeah, like I heard you guys are like you had like a really good year." I was like, "Yeah, it was like great for being a Cleveland fan." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Oh, like do you follow the Browns?" He goes, "No, I follow the Packers kind of, or I stopped following them a couple of years ago." I'm like, well, "Why are you talking to me about football and the Browns and Target, bro? Like get out of here." And then not out of nowhere, but he like continues the conversation and he like calls his wife over. These people weren't shopping in the lamp section. They were just walking by and decided to like come talk to us. Starts talking to me, like tries to make a connection. He drops like this weird hint that he's met these really cool people in Dublin, which is where I live, and was like, "Oh yeah, like I'm doing like this business thing. I used to do construction. Now I got like this business on the side." I'm like, okay. Everybody has a business nowadays. Like I do a podcast. It's sick. Like you have a business, bro. And he's like, "Yo, can we exchange numbers?" I was like, "Sure, dude. Like let's exchange numbers." So we exchange numbers, and like this whole time I'm sniffing him out. I'm like, this dude's gonna try and hit me up for a pyramid scheme and be like, "Oh, I know these people that can like help you get rich." And let me know, like, I'm at Target dressed like, not bummy, but I'm in sweatpants, like chilling. And you guys know, I'm going to toot my own horn here again. I got a pretty good job. I'm a smart guy. Spy level, athlete level. And
Yeah,
so this guy's like trying to hit me up as he's like in these like flashy clothes. And I'm like, bro, you're fake. And Target, like trying to talk to me. Like, why are you talking to me at Target? So either way, like we set up a call. He's like, oh, like, I can't wait to talk to you. Text me. He's like, I got something professional run by you. It'll only take 5 minutes. And I'm like, what do you have professional run by a guy you just met? And it's only going to take 5 minutes. This dude texts me, calls me, and he's like, yeah, hey, like really good connecting with you at Target. I know you probably, don't know what's going on. I'm like, oh, well, what's your business model? What is it? He's like, oh, we don't like to talk about it on our first intro call. I'm like, okay.
It's not real.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay. And I checked this dude out on LinkedIn, and he's just like some consultant at this made-up fucking company, part of my French. And he's been there for like 2 years, and I check him out on LinkedIn. So I'm grilling him on this first intro call. I'm like, hey, like, what's your business model? He's like, oh, well, I know this guy who's helped me out. Like, he could help you out. I'm like, help me out with what, dude? Like, what are you talking about?
So vague.
Ends up like going to the end of the call. And he ends up texting me back like a couple times talking about like, oh, I can't wait to set up another call with you. Spells my name wrong. If you're going to like try and pyramid scheme me, you might as well go check my LinkedIn or remember what my name I put in your phone is and spell it right.
Yeah, come correct.
So this guy's in the bonfire for trying to pyramid scheme me, and he has the audacity to text me this morning at 6:30 a.m.
No, 6:30?
6:30 a.m. If you two text me at 6:30 a.m., shit, if mom texts me at 6:30 a.m., I'm not responding for a day just because I'm like, don't ever text me at 6:30 a.m. Dude text me at 6:30 a.m., hey, Connor, ER, I'm going to take your silence as you're not interested. And I made him wait like a whole day. I was like, yeah, you're right. Like, I'm not interested in this. You might want to check my LinkedIn profile next time you try and text me. And he would see I'm suited up in my LinkedIn profile, legitimate job, full career, none of this bullshit pyramid scheme. I know a guy in Dublin that could hook you up. So that guy's going to the bonfire. Anybody else out there doing pyramid schemes, get out of here. You're trash. Go back to school for 2 more years and you'll be set. That's it. Get out of here.
So did you get a lamp?
We did not get a lamp.
Okay.
No lamp was purchased.
Did you not get a lamp? Were you able to at least have a minor victory that day and talk her out of getting the lamp? Or did she just not see one she didn't like? And don't lie.
Well, the thing was about getting a lamp.
Yeah, okay. She didn't see one she liked.
Well, no, because she said, oh, I thought you wanted a lamp. And I said, no, I don't want a lamp. I figured out I could just use my TV screen over here to the right to get my face all ready for a podcast. Yeah. So,
okay.
Well, you know what they say, Target's the new coffee shop. So you kind of got to get used to business people coming up to you in Target now, apparently.
They do have a Starbucks in the Target.
Oh, that's true, dude. That's true.
So does that guy just walk around and like
just find people?
Just find random people and
I guess so, dude. And the most annoying thing was I was like, yeah, like, let me know, like, what's this business model you're telling me about? And he goes, oh, well, like, we don't like to discuss it. Let's grab coffee so we can build some trust first and then talk about the business model.
That's just not.
I'm like, if your business model is that great, why the hell do I need coffee to go along with it? Just tell me your business model. I'm a smart dude. Check out my LinkedIn. I'll take your business from here to there. Whatever, man. I'm so bad at that.
That's hilarious.
Crazy. And I knew, like I said, from the start, I smelled it out, but I just wanted to see how good this guy was at selling. Worst pyramid schemer I've ever gotten sold to.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that, and if you're gonna be a pyramid schemer, that's cool. Do you? I'm opposite of Connor here. Do you? But like, at least have your stuff in line.
Yeah.
You know, at least come right. You know, come correct, man.
Like, check my link. I gave him my full name. Check my LinkedIn. And spell my name right. Oh, my God.
All right, so rule number 1 for Connor is always check his LinkedIn before you talk to him. No matter what, check his LinkedIn. Rule number 2, don't talk about a pyramid scheme in Target in the lamp section.
And rule number 3, remember that you are inferior to his greatness at all times.
Check the LinkedIn, bro.
Check the LinkedIn.
All right. Well, my bonfire this week, I'll keep it short and sweet. It's COVID. I've been in isolation since last Wednesday. Haven't left my room in a while, besides go to the kitchen, make some food. But so I got to learn, know these walls pretty well the last couple of days. I get out Thursday, so I'm excited for that. But COVID's in the bonfire. And also because COVID attacked my friends and some of them are sick. So that's just ridiculous. So
How dare they?
I'm coming for COVID. Ridiculous. Can't believe it. So they're going on the bonfire, hopefully forever to die so that COVID can leave.
I like it.
Yeah, man.
All right, Sean, what's your back shoulder fade?
All right. So I'm going out on a limb here. That's the point of the back shoulder.
Love it. Love it already.
That's the point, Glocksmiths, of the back shoulder fade. This year, the March Madness tournament is going to have the lowest rated game, championship finals game, since 1975, which the other three were when Villanova won it. I think that was the lowest rated game. And then when Kemba and UConn won it, and I forget the third one, but this is going to be the worst. And then I went down the rabbit hole. Can you guys tell me the top 5 teams in the country right now?
Yeah.
The 8 people?
Yeah. Oh, wait. All right.
Can you tell me the top 5?
Yeah. Gonzaga.
Like, can you?
Yeah, Gonzaga's number 1. You want an order?
Okay. And then,
Gonzaga.
And that's okay. Gonzaga's okay. That's expected. They're there every year.
Gonzaga,
next 4.
Baylor.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 I know.
I don't know 3. I'm pretty sure
I know
Michigan,
3.
Ohio State.
I was
Ohio
saying
State 3.
It's
Ohio
Michigan,
State's
Ohio
4.
State. Yeah, Ohio State's
Yes.
4, Michigan's 3. And
I don't know 5.
Illinois.
Yeah, dude.
Whoa, Big Ten represent.
Dude, Illinois is
Like-
nasty this year. Kofi Cockburn, I forget what his name is. He's nasty.
Who really? Did you see? Like, look at the top 25. There's no Duke. There's no UNC.
Kansas.
No Kansas. I didn't even see Kentucky. I don't think when I looked.
No,
may
they're
be
not
there.
in it. Yeah, they're not in it. No, they're
Like,
not.
dude, like what? Like it's gonna be the lowest rated.
No, I'm with you. I agree, especially this year because like half the teams in the country haven't even played like a full slate of games.
Yeah.
So like nobody has any exposure to basketball this year, college basketball. I mean, I'm still excited for the tournament, and I think the first weekend is still going to be absolutely insane, as it always is. But I think you're right because once you get down and there's really not like any crazy players or crazy teams, people just kind of lose interest in like the finals, you know. So I'm with you on that, honestly.
I 2 things on that. One, Sean thought you were a Ohio State fan. Thought you'd be more excited. 2,
I didn't even know they were 4. Shame on me. Like I'm not paying attention to college hoops this year whatsoever.
It's tough, man. Like college hoops are made really fun. College sports in general, with the fans make it that much better.
Exactly.
So I think they're just missing out a huge momentum piece with that. The other thing I want to add is like going off your 2 points. I couldn't name a single player in college hoops right now other than Luka Garza, only because A. Smith, the Glocksmith, sends a daily message in our group chat about how much he hates that guy.
Yeah, he sucks. I'm with A. Smith. He sucks. He's not
So
going
that's
to be
the only
not gonna be
reason
good,
I know
bro.
it.
Yeah,
No.
I don't know anybody else.
But all right, speaking of, I do know one player though, and this is this is for all my friends back home that we always hoop up at the field house with. Michi Johnson. He plays at Ohio State. He's a freshman. He went to Garfield Heights. He dropped 50 on my high school, Benedictine.
Yes.
But back when Michi was like in 5th, 6th grade, and we would go up to the field house, me and my friends, we would play him at the field house and just pick up games. And there's one time my friend Chris Nicely, we were playing him, and he was talking so much shit to Michi Johnson. And Michi's like, one day I'm going to be in the NBA. And this is when Michi was like 5'3". So we all kind of like laughed at him. And now he's playing Division I at Ohio State. So shout out Michi Johnson for that. Good for him.
You should have
told
you should have told the story there where you crossed him up and just.
All right, I'm not gonna
Sold it
lie,
out.
dude. I'm not.
Oh,
no,
why
I'm
not?
not that kind of hooper though. I'm Draymond Green. That's what I am. I'm Draymond.
I don't know.
Pat
No,
Bev.
that's
I'm
either-
Pat Bev. I'm Pat Bev.
I was gonna say PJ Tucker with less of a 3-point shot.
PJ Tucker, but like all my abilities are just a lot less than him.
You're like a key to key player.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So
I'm
maybe
cool
not
with that.
PJ Tucker's like corner to corner, but you're a specialist. You're a specialist.
That's why I'm like Pat Bev, dude. Like my best abilities are like I'm just gritty. I chirp, you know.
Grit. I like
Yeah.
it.
I'm all about the grit, dude. So no, I did not cross him up. If anything, he probably crossed me up when he was 10, because that dude's nasty. So I'm not surprised at all. But
Wait, did I ever play him up at the field house?
I don't know. I mean, it was right around the same time we would always go up and hoop. So I don't know if you actually played
That's
him,
wild.
because he was good. I mean, he was short, but he was good. Like when he was in like 6th, 7th grade, when we would play him, he was good.
Yeah, I'm sure he remembers playing C-Hop. I'm sure he knows.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm sure he remembers playing the
Yeah,
Chow
no
Scout.
doubt.
Dude, every time me and Connor go up there, my friends, we'd run it. We'd run that field house. But all right, no. Back to what we were talking about though. You're right. I think the ratings for this year's March Madness is gonna be pretty low. But regardless, I'm pumped because it's a lot of fun to watch. Connor, what's your back shoulder fade?
Back shoulder fade this week is a partial bonfire.
Okay.
Mainly because of ESPN.
I'll
get to that in a
shoulder
second.
fade.
Bond shoulder fade. OBJ is not getting traded from the Browns, and he will be the comeback player of the year next year in the NFL.
Oh, okay.
I think he will have a career year with the Cleveland Browns. ESPN is so bored right now, and I don't know why, because they have so much NBA to talk about and MLB they're not talking about, and they're deciding to hang on this. Let's create a 10-minute segment every day about how OBJ is going to get traded to the best team in the league, which is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's not – the OBJ – these idiots that go on ESPN and get paid to talk about stupid shit in the sports world don't understand that OBJ is not going anywhere. He's locked up through 2023. He's going to fit perfectly in the offense once things are back in action. Because what people don't understand is the Browns offense for the first 6 weeks until they played Cincinnati in that 7th week, that was all they had together. So you're telling me that the Browns are going to look to trade an all-pro talent because of Baker playing better without him, but it wasn't a case of him playing better without him. It was more of a case of the Browns offense and team came together finally. So if you add OBJ to that offense and how well Baker Mayfield played second half of the year, you're telling me the Browns are just going to get rid of that?
Yeah.
Come on. Like, these guys at ESPN, get out of here. It's so obnoxious. OBJ's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and also the Tampa rumor itself is what confuses me also. Chris Godwin's a free agent this year, which I think they can franchise tag him. But if they let Godwin walk, why are they just going to go get OBJ, who's worth a lot more money currently? It just doesn't make any sense.
No, none of it makes
no sense.
ESPN's just bored, and they're just filling up stupid-ass stories. I'm going to also throw additional bonfire. Rob Ninkovich, Jeff Saturday, and Marcus Spears, the Tuesday crew on Get Up, because that's how I start my morning. I should switch over to Fox Sports. I don't know why I keep watching ESPN in the morning. But the three of them are just morons. They're like, oh, my God, I love OBJ to the Bucks. Well, no shit. You love OBJ to anywhere.
Yeah. Who wouldn't?
Right, exactly. And the Bucks don't make any sense. You already got Mike Evans.
No sense.
They're going to re-sign either Brown or Godwin, and Scotty Miller is going to be Tom Brady's favorite target next year. I'm calling that right now. Add that to the back shoulder fade. Right. But OBJ is going to win comeback player of the year next year at the Browns. He's going to have – I'm going to say – I'll say 1,400 yards receiving with 15 touchdowns next year.
Oh, my gosh. All right.
15 touchdowns.
You're here first, everybody.
12 receiving, 3 rushing.
Okay. All right. Damn. Some lofty expectations. I like it.
He might even win Offensive Player of the Year.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that is a back shoulder fade.
Bookmark this episode.
I will say, though, about your comment about switching over to Fox Sports in the morning, don't, because it's Skip and Shannon, which is the worst sports talk show in world history. I hate Skip. Dude, it just bothers me so much. Every time Skip talks, he's just like, oh, yeah, my team. I don't care who your team is, Skip. I don't care. I hate Skip Hill so much. Yeah, I know he gets paid for people to hate him, and I fall right into his trap, but I hate him.
Yeah, no, he huffs paint before he goes on that show, I've heard.
Skip is the worst, dude. But all right, moving to my back shoulder fade. Southerners are soft. I'll just say before I get into and Sean, I know you probably take a little bit of offense to that. But
I am not a Southerner. I live there.
Kind of. You're a transplant. You're a Southern transplant.
He's Jersey and Ohio.
No, but I will say, dude, like people from the South, they go damn near their whole lives without experiencing like weather that puts hair on your chest. People in Texas, you put them in Ohio, in Cleveland, Ohio, for a week in January where it's 10 degrees and snowing and icy and windy, dude, they wouldn't be able to survive. Oh my gosh, their Facebook feeds would just be filled of just complaining about the weather. They're so soft.
Yeah, you're not kidding. They actually, I've never seen it until I moved down into like North Carolina, because when I lived in Florida, it wasn't really, you never had, like there was hurricane days. That was it. But here, they will go ahead and cancel school if like they're predicting snow. Like if they're like, yeah, it'll be anywhere from like 1 to like 3 inches. They'll be like, all right, no school. And we'd get like ice. We'd get like a light covering, like an inch in ice. And I'm not kidding you. I've seen it close down for up to 3 days for an inch of snow.
Yeah.
And you know,
I believe it.
Well, I saw a couple comments on that, Nolan.
Mhm.
I work with a lot of Texas people now, so
Yeah.
I'm offended. The Texas people I work with are very nice people.
I'm sure they're nice people.
They're
Doesn't
not
mean they're
soft.
Okay.
They've been out of power for the last 2
Yeah,
days.
no, I was gonna. I was
Yeah.
gonna say yes.
Texas. So Texas, I don't know how it all works out, but they were ill prepared for this freezing storm that came in. So blame their leaders, blame whoever you got to blame.
Yeah.
But the people of Texas, yeah, it's really not that bad compared to what we experience in Buffalo and Cleveland. And I don't know, man. This storm has been pretty wild.
Yeah.
But to your point, even down here in Columbus, consider us Southern because we got 6 inches of snow over like a 12-hour period. And not a single road had salt on it. So I don't know like what's going on with people more south than the Great Lakes, but they don't know how to prepare for any snowstorm.
Yeah. And I was gonna say this at the end. I just wanted the shock value of saying Southerners are soft.
Wow.
But yeah, obviously like this storm, it's pretty crazy, and people weren't prepared, and it's like, it's not something to mess with, the ice and the cold, and I get like the houses down there just aren't made for like
True
to stay warm and whatnot. And a lot of houses, I guess, don't have fireplaces. I saw on Twitter or something weird. I don't know, but so I'm not trying to be insensitive about that, but just in general, they are soft. And
yeah, I must have missed this whole storm because the high was 61 today. So like,
well, yeah. If you look at a map, it's so funny. It goes right through the middle of the states, through Texas, and then both coasts are just normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It hit Louisiana a little bit, and my friend goes down to LSU, and he said they don't have salt down in Louisiana, so all the roads are just covered in ice, and they don't have salt to get rid of it, so they just have to wait for the sun to come out for it to melt. So
it's crazy.
It's why it's so weird. It's something that we all just grew up with. Just like, yeah, man, December through March, get ready to be in your snow boots 24/7. People that just grew up like 6 hours away from us have no idea what to do when it snows a little bit.
We should just start hoarding salt deposits for the next major winter storm, and then when cities like Austin and Louisiana and
make a profit,
just sell it to them and be like, "This is for a good cause."
Like I saw,
that's a good idea.
What's it called? My friend told me about a video he saw where even if they have salt, they don't know like how to use it. So I guess this one lady picked up some salt and like threw it at her car. They didn't just like put it at her car and thought that would like do something. So it's just, I don't know, man.
Speaking of that, I saw another video where someone was using a spatula to scrape their windshield wiper.
They can use like an
they
oven
don't
mitt.
have, they don't have the snow, whatever they're called, like
the ice brushes. Yeah, the ice brushes.
Yeah, and so they're using a spatula. And the funniest part about the video was they were using the spatula, and before they started, like they showed the spatula on video, and then started scraping off the ice. But before they started scraping it off, there was like hamburger grease and stuff all over. Like they just got done whipping up some food, and they just started using it. I was cracking up.
Oh my gosh, that is absolutely disgusting. That is gross. All right, and thank you again to our sponsor, Far One Solutions, with their Ear One product. The promotion is ending soon, the end of February, correct, Connor?
That is correct. Take advantage of it now.
Yes, take advantage, end of February, to get your nice Ear One products. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, you saw Connor show them off. Great product, great value, so make sure you check them out. Far One Solutions. Okay, something we haven't talked about in a while, because the NFL, the playoffs, finally on with that. They were dominating the headlines. The NBA, the no Bigfoots allowed. I'm just kidding. National Basketball Association. So one thing I want to talk about today, first thing I want to bring up, the Utah Jazz currently sit as the number one seed in the West and the best team in the NBA record-wise. They're 23-5. They've won 8 games in a row and 19 of 20. Woo. Are they favorites to win the title?
No. No.
And also, Nolan, with those stats, I believe they've covered the spread 18 out of the last 20 games as well. So they are the hottest team in the league by every stretch of the definition.
Good teams win, great teams cover.
Yes.
But, this is the hottest topic around basketball right now, man. I don't know. I mean, look, I got some stats for you guys. So they have the best point differential in the NBA right now at 9.4. Now, that'll probably go down as the season wears on. But a 9-point differential, that is very good. Again, they're 23-5, won 19 of the last 20. The most impressive thing They have 6 guys averaging double figures. That is not easy to do. They got Donovan Mitchell, who's the star, 24 a game. Jordan Clarkson, probably going to be 6th man of the year at 18. Michael Conley at 16. Bojan Bogdanovic at 15. Gobert 13. And Joe Ingles 11. Now, that is a well-balanced squad.
It is. Can I get Bojan back in fantasy?
No. You're the one that dropped him?
I did.
I snagged him so quick, dude. I haven't lost a game since I picked up Bogdanovic.
I know, dude. Like 3-game winning streak since I dropped Bojan.
Hell yeah, dude. You gotta be smart. But they really go 8 deep because I just named 7 players. Or how many did I name? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, but they go 8 deep because their next guy is Royce O'Neal, who's averaging 7 a game. Then Derek Favors averaging 6. Again, they seem to be one of the deepest teams in the NBA. Well, but does it matter when they go up against LeBron, Kawhi, all those kind of dudes in the playoffs?
No, I'm looking now, and as it would be the 1 and 8, like they would have to go against the Warriors.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
and if the Mavericks slip into 8, like they might.
Then they got Luka and Kristaps to deal with.
I mean, nah.
Yeah, the West is pretty wild this year.
It all comes down to Nolan. I think you're going to bring this up, so I might steal your thunder.
That's
okay.
okay.
I'll lead into it for you. It all comes down to coaching.
Mm-hmm.
When the playoffs hit, it comes down to coaching, which is why the Milwaukee Bucks haven't done anything in the playoffs. So I'll let you lead into what you think the Jazz really are. I think they're a great story. I'm rooting for them. They've always been a franchise that's been near the top, but can never get over that hump. Yep. Yeah, with Stockton and Malone losing to the Bulls all that time in the 90s. So I'm happy for them, but I think we've seen this story play out. So go ahead, Nolan. Tell me what you think they're looking like.
I think they're looking like 2014-2015 Atlanta Hawks, aka the team that had 4 All-Stars in one year. I think it was Korver, Millsap. Oh my gosh, who else was on that team?
Horford.
Yeah, it was. I got up. So it was Korver, Millsap, Jeff Teague, Horford. Yes, that team won 60 games in 2014-15 to swiftly get eliminated by LeBron and the Cavs in the playoffs. I remember regular season, everyone was hyping up that team, saying, this is the first starless team since when the Pistons won the finals back in 2004, where they didn't have a true star. And I hate to say it because the Jazz do have a star. Donovan Mitchell is averaging 24 a game. That guy can get a bucket whenever he wants. That's something that Hawks team didn't have. They relied purely on team basketball. There was nobody on that team averaged more than 16 points a game, and that was Paul Millsap. Now, to be fair, the times were different even 4 years ago. If you look at all the teams' point differentials, teams were only giving up like 95 points a game and scoring like 105. Now in today's NBA, 5 years later, everyone's scoring 110 a game and giving up 110 a game. So the point per game averages maybe overlooked it a little bit, but I don't know. I get big Hawks vibes, especially because they're probably gonna have to go through LeBron James in this year's playoffs too for the Jazz. So.
You know who they remind me of? I'm looking at it now. I just wanted to make sure I had the year right. The 2017 to 2018 Raptors. Like, cool. Like, you're good. They're like the year before Kawhi. Like,
so DeRozan, Lowry.
Yeah, like, cool. You're good, but like, you're not.
What do you have to take you over? Yeah,
and like, it's even. You can even argue it's just kind of like the Bucks. Like last year, like, cool. Like, you're not going to get there. Because I know coaching has a lot to do with it in the postseason, but over-coaching to me is like star power. And I know you mentioned those names, but there's other teams where they're just the Nets, the Lakers. Like, you're not winning it. Yeah. You're not even going to make it.
Yeah, I will say I'm going to take this time. I'm glad you brought that up, Sean, the Bucks and coaching. And Nolan, you brought up the Hawks.
Yep.
The Bucks of the last 2 years and the Hawks of the year you brought up, and I believe the next year, they had one thing in common. And that guy name is Mike Budenholzer. The best regular season coach of all time.
I didn't think about that.
and the worst postseason coach of all time. He has more talent now with the Bucks than he did those Hawks teams, and he still can't figure it out. You got Chris Middleton, who, if you look at Chris Middleton's percentages and efficiencies, he's increased every single year, but his usage rate has gone down. The dude averages like 14 shots a game, and other players that have less efficiency than Chris Middleton average like 7 to 8 shots more a game. And the fact Mike Budenholzer doesn't change anything other than just sit there and his eyes bug out. Like, I've never seen a coach's eyes bug out on a sideline.
He's got a big forehead.
Big forehead, semi-mullet, but it's not a mullet, but it is a mullet with huge eyeballs. Just scream second-round exit every year in the playoffs. Scream second-round exit.
But I feel like for the Bucks, though, and the Budenholzer critique is completely fair, but I think it falls more on Giannis' shoulders that they can't get over the hump because he can't shoot. He can't shoot. You got to be able to shoot, bro.
I disagree with both of what both of you said. I think it's not so much of Giannis; it's the super teams. Like, you can't blame him. Like, because what's going to happen is Blake Griffin's going to get bought out, and where's he going to sign? The Nets or the Lakers?
Yeah.
Like, how is Giannis going to compete with that? No one's coming to Milwaukee. Nobody.
He's the MVP. He's the two-time MVP.
But when it gets to the playoffs, like, you're going against – how are you going to beat LeBron and Anthony Davis? Just them
coaching.
Two. How? No.
Coaching.
It gets to a point where coaching is nothing in the NBA. I don't care what anybody says. When you have a team like that, Tyronn Lue did nothing for the Cavs when LeBron was there. He just hung out. He just hung out. If Tyronn Lue wasn't there, nothing would have changed. The Cavs wouldn't have fallen apart. It gets to a point where it's like, coach, the teams are so good that you don't need a coach.
That's fair.
My opinion.
I mean,
it becomes not coaching; it becomes managing the locker rooms and personalities.
Yeah. No, for sure.
It's not X's and O's; it's managing team chemistry.
But I still and I agree with your take on just the super teams, but I feel like Giannis and the way that Bucks team is constructed, is not that it's like built to take down these super hero teams, but like, you're still the back-to-back league MVP. You are the Greek freak, and you're, 24, 25 years old? You got an awesome sidekick in Chris Middleton, who Connor's right. Maybe in the playoffs, maybe play through Middleton more. Because Giannis can't shoot. All you got to do is clog the lane against him. And what's he going to do? The Heat. Are the Heat a super team? They whooped his ass last year.
Yeah. And you're right. Going back to the Middleton point, I'm sure you guys saw, because it went like viral, because after the game against the Suns, Giannis took that contested mid-range jumper, which wasn't contested because he's like almost 7 foot. Yeah, so it wasn't like a bad shot. And Devin Booker said, we weren't worried. But if you look at that replay, you can tell all along, whatever happened in the huddle, Mike Budenholzer said, Giannis, take the shot. And then you have on that play, Giannis is a pretty good passer. He's good. He's above average.
Yeah.
Giannis gets that ball. Everybody on the Suns runs to him knowing he's going to take it, because the whole rhetoric and narrative around Giannis is he's not going to make a jump shot. He's not going to hit the game winner. So Giannis, knowing that he has all this pressure on him, being the MVP back-to-back and hasn't performed in the playoffs, goes ahead and takes that shot. If you watch that replay, wide open in the corner is my boy Chris Middleton. He's standing there like this. If you're watching YouTube right now, I'm in my perfect three-point stance, and he's in the corner. His defender leaves him completely in the corner. So my thing is, if you're Mike Budenholzer and teams aren't even concerned about Chris Middleton getting the game-winning shot when you're shooting 40, 50, 90 from the field, from the free throw line, or from the three-point line, that's on the coach. That's 100% on the coach. Because if you have Giannis, who you know is going to demand that attention, and you have one of the best shooters and all-around scorers in the league in Chris Middleton, and he only averages 14 shots a game, and he shoots over 50% from the field, that is above and beyond the coach having a lack of any know-how or ability to run a team. That's like the biggest. I don't want to hate the Bucks, but I hate the Bucks because they continue to let Mike Budenholzer coach that team. Yeah, and they're not going to get anywhere with him.
Dude, I mean, I like that point though, that maybe they should, Giannis should defer to his teammates more throughout, like in big moments. I mean,
but wasn't that the knock on LeBron?
I'm saying
LeBron
gets like slandered all the time for that because he's too passive and because he passes off game-winning shots and like big tying shots. Well, that's just the right play sometimes. And I didn't see that replay, But I'm not surprised. Sometimes, like, honest, dude, like maybe you put that pride down aside because you could win some games if Middleton made you touch the rock more.
Exactly.
I don't know. I think that these super teams, when it gets to a point, and you bring up a good point against the Heat, that's all coaching. Like, that's all coaching.
Well, Eric Spoelstra is awesome.
As far as, like, when you go up against, like, the Lakers, like, I don't care if you're the 8th, 7th, 6th seed, you could have the best coach in the universe. You're not going to win.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So, like, it's tough for Giannis. He might be more of a Robin than a Batman.
Yeah. Well, and again, I agree. But, like, I'm just trying to think. Has he lost to, like, a super team in the playoffs? Like, who'd they lose to 2 years ago? It was Boston. Yeah, it was Boston. Or is it Toronto? Yeah,
Raptors.
Toronto.
Or, dude, I couldn't tell you.
We need our checker.
No, it was Boston, I believe. Here, let me go look. That was what 2018 NBA playoffs.
2019.
Because this
you
was
guys, you guys listening. Who is it? Go yell it out loud to us.
Yeah. What was that?
But I want to talk about the point that Sean, I think you just made. He might be a better Robin, Giannis.
Yeah, and that goes back to the Jazz. Is I don't know if Donovan is a Batman or a Robin.
I don't think.
I got the answer.
Go ahead, Nolan.
Toronto, Eastern Conference Finals. So I mean Kawhi, yeah, but it wasn't really the Raptors team wasn't really a super team.
They won the finals though.
Yeah, but okay, but
well, yeah. To Sean's point, they weren't a super team.
Yeah,
they were a better team that had better coaching.
Yeah,
better game plans. Mike Budenholzer, you're trash. I hope you listen to this podcast. But I want to just touch before we move on. I want to touch on the Robin point. I think Giannis is. He's not so much. If you think about Giannis in terms of great players we've seen in the past, he's more in that Shaquille O'Neal realm where he can dominate a game for 40 minutes, but he needs that partner in crime to be the closer. And he has that in Chris Middleton, which why it makes no sense that they have yet to win a playoff series that matters. Because you have a guy that is extremely efficient from the field. It's not like Chris Middleton's a small 6'3", 6'4" point guard. Chris Middleton is 6'8", lanky as hell with a strap. And you're telling me you can't draw up a play to get this dude the freaking ball when it comes to clutch time? Because Giannis can carry you first 3 quarters of the game. Yeah. But come fourth quarter, give the ball to Chris Middleton and let him work.
Yeah, exactly.
So once again, I'm dropping this on Budenholzer. The dude is soft. The dude is trash. Half mullet, buggy eye, bald head. Don't like him. He should be out of the league and not have a job.
Yeah. Well, okay. All right. That's a pretty – that should be your bachelor fade. But the Bucks are one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league. But when it comes down to who's taking the last shot, it's an awful 3-point shooter. So, like, it's just strange. I hope they figure it out because Giannis is a really – oh, also what I was going to say was maybe we're going to see kind of like a LeBron situation happen to Giannis. He just signed a 5-year deal. Maybe when that's up, he's like, yeah, I'm going to go to Miami. I'm going to go to LA now. Like, I was with this small market team that, just didn't pan out well. So maybe Giannis is on the same kind of track.
I feel it.
Could be.
We'll see. All right. Speaking of all these superstars and these super teams, I want to get your guys' thoughts on the potential NBA All-Star Game, which currently is slated for March 7th in Atlanta. There's been a lot of pushback, notably from LeBron, actually, about not even having a game just because of COVID precautions and whatnot. Do you guys think there should be an All-Star Game this year?
Yes, but no. There shouldn't be an All-Star Game. There should be an All-Star event, like a weekend. And credit to whoever said it. I don't remember who said it, but credit to them. Let me bring Andre Drummond, JaVale McGee, let them do the 3-point contest. Like, you know what I mean? Like, make it fun, do something different, do something out of the box. Don't have the traditional game. Do everything else like a 3-point contest and all that stuff. And I would vote for the All-Stars, but leave it up to the players on who wants to go. Yeah. Like, LeBron should be an all-star and not be required to go if he doesn't want to, but someone like, Colin Sexton, not an all-star, but if he wants to go, he can go. Something like that.
I like that. I don't think there should be an all-star game. But if they're going to do one, which I think they will, TNT's invested a lot into it. I think they do something like what Sean said. If those guys want to opt out, it's going to hurt the revenue and hurt the overall atmosphere. But if you got guys that want to opt out because they just came off of a bubble season less than 2.5 months ago, let them opt out and just get the next vote getter in. It's a weird year. It doesn't matter. Like if you still want to have games and have it going on, have it go on. But at the end of the day, it's the All-Star weekend. No one gives a shit. You can't have fans. It's what it's made for. Is to like have like that weekend, have the fans come to the city, bring some revenue. So to Sean's point, let those guys opt out if they don't want to be in it, and you just get the next top vote getters in it, because that's the only way a Cavs player is going to make it, because the Cavs are trash.
Yeah. But I think they should do it by tying in like fun events, like instead of like the 3-point contest, like have Andre Drummond, Dwight Howard, and a couple other like the lowest free throw shooters in the game. Have them do it best out of 10.
I don't know. Oh, maybe
free throws. Just it'll be something funny. I don't know. Just do something different.
I'd rather play Call of Duty on like one sensitivity than watch those guys shoot 3-pointers.
Dude, I don't
free throws. I'd be okay with that, because I'm like, you guys are being paid how many $1 million a year and you can't hit a free throw still? Like, come on.
I think a 3-point contest with them would be fun.
I would definitely watch a full court shootout.
Really?
Yeah,
full court
that'd be fun.
Well, I'm just saying with anybody, and I'm just saying with like Drummond or just with anybody. I think that'd be cool.
Remember the one challenge they did with like the teams where they have a WNBA, a retired person, and someone that's normal? Those half court shots are electric. Dude, but I don't know if I could sit there and watch a whole full court challenge happen.
All right, that's true. But what I'm saying, I don't think there should be a game, because Connor, you mentioned it. There's no fans. You know, what incentive for the players is there going to be if they're playing an all-star game and there's no fans? No one's going crazy. Like the coolest part is that the little interactions between the players, and like LeBron and Kobe's last year, rest in peace, when they were sizing each other up and the whole crowd was on their feet and everyone was going crazy. No one cares about the all-star game, but that was an awesome moment. There's no fans this year. Like, it brings down the entertainment value so much for me watching on the TV.
Even the entertainment value to when it was Deion Waiters and Tim Hardaway Jr.
Just going back to back,
and they were going back to back with the threes.
Yeah,
that was So if I agree. I guess my final decision is no, they shouldn't have it.
Yeah,
but if they are to do it, no to the actual game.
Just do some
but
stuff.
Do something else and don't make anyone go.
Yeah, no, I agree. But also I think this week there's a couple games that are postponed because of COVID. So again, if I'm a player, why am I even? Obviously they're going to have very strict testing protocols and whatnot. So it's not like the NBA is going to fumble the bag there. But like, why even risk it? Like, give me the week off. Who cares?
Right.
We're in COVID. Yeah. We'll have an All-Star game next year, and it'll probably be better because people are going to be excited to go to it.
It sucks that it comes down to this, but it's a society we live in. And because TNT and Turner Sports Network has already signed a contract with the NBA to make this happen, it's most likely going to happen in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate for both parties that they thought COVID would be eradicated at this point.
Yeah.
So it's on them. I don't think 1 year is going to absolutely kill your entire network and program, but it comes down to the bottom lines of, well, you guys signed us up for this much revenue with this contract, so we have to have an all-star game, and the NBA gets handcuffed.
Yep, it sucks, but hey, it is what it is. But all right,
well, Nolan, did you send the NBA my highlight tape?
Oh, dude, I forgot.
You didn't?
No.
Okay.
I'll send it to you next week. I actually Pat Riley called me. He was like, "Yo, who's that co-host of yours that's really good at sports?"
Did he? Wow.
Yeah. I'm like, "Yo, that's Sean Quigley. He's super good."
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, okay.
No, I'm just playing. But I'm gonna put you guys on the spot real quick. MVP picks. Connor, you talked about Jokic and Embiid a couple weeks ago, how it's awesome for the NBA that they're bringing the big men back and that they're in the MVP talk. But I want to get your picks right now. And I'm officially calling it. This is the official Yardback MVP pick. So these are locked in. So you don't get a lot of time to think. That sucks. Deal with it. Who's your guys' MVP pick this year? If you want me to go first, because obviously I just put you guys on the spot, I'll do that.
No, I'll go first. I'm going to go with Joel Embiid.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Embiid.
I like that.
Oh, dude, this is so tough. I have if you're going like best player on best team, you got to think LeBron or even Donovan Mitchell at this point, but Donovan Mitchell's not win MVP.
Mm-mm.
LeBron, I think, is an overshot narrative. People want to give him an MVP because he hasn't won one in a while, even though he could win one every year.
Yep.
Nikola Jokic, I think, is the best player in the NBA right now. And if we're going dark horse, or the person I think deserves MVP based on what they contribute to their team, James Harden.
Damn. Okay.
Since he stepped onto the scene with the Nets, he has stepped up in every aspect of the world. And he's even said it. He said, you know how hard it was playing for the Houston Rockets, having to do everything for a number of years?
Yeah.
Now he can step onto the Nets, average a triple-double, lead the team in assists, lead in damn near rebounds, and just be the most valuable player for that team. That's what he's doing. He knows Kyrie and KD can get whatever they want, but he also knows there's a big hole in that defense, and there's a big hole in terms of someone being that man every single night. If you look at the box score of the Nets, you'll see Kyrie and KD over 30 points, and then you'll see James Harden with 20 to 25, 13 rebounds, 13 assists.
Yeah.
If I had to give out an MVP, the reason the Nets have turned it around and played as well as they have at championship levels and have been an awesome bet to cover, especially the other night against the Warriors, I'm going James Harden. I think he's turned that team around. He knows what they need on a night in, night out basis. I think LeBron's going to end up winning because of narrative. I think Jokic probably deserves it the most, but I think James Harden is the real MVP.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I'm going to go. So I agree with the Jokic take because I think he is the best player by far. I think he dropped like 40 again tonight, something crazy. But the thing is, team success factors into it. And Nuggets currently sit in the 7th seed at 15 and 11. Now, if the Nuggets get up to top 4 seed, top 3 in the West, and Jokic keeps playing like this, then I think he'll win it. But I'm gonna go my safe pick, who I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Embiid. I think the narrative supports LeBron about like give it to him for maybe one last time, but also this would be Embiid's first time, and this is clearly he's averaging 29 a game. He's actually going off, and the Sixers are arguably the team to beat this year in the East or the 1 seed. But my dark horse pick, I'm going Steph Curry. Dude's averaging 30 a game right now, almost 6 assists. He's a unanimous MVP back in 2016. First unanimous MVP to ever blow a 3-1 lead in the finals. Didn't have to look that up, off the top of my head. So Steph Curry, watch out for him because he's been balling, dude. He's been absolutely balling out there in San Francisco now.
All right, so what was it? It was Curry, LeBron.
Yeah, I'll lock in Curry. I'll lock in Curry.
All right, Embiid, Curry, LeBron.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Or did he say Harden? Was it Harden, Connor, or LeBron? Who's your final?
I mean, if we're going like the voters, I think the voters take LeBron. I think Jokic is best player for his team. Harden is the most valuable to his team.
Yep. Yeah, and again, I agree with Connor. This Steph Curry pick is just my thoughts, but obviously Steph's probably not going to MVP this year. Any other thoughts on the NBA season, guys, before we get into our first ever Yardback Top 5?
No.
All right, cool.
I'm just excited about the NBA season, kind of ramping up. My fantasy team doing okay. My team's name is the Cavs Big Three. My Cavs Big Three is slowly turning on its head, and they stink. And then also,
I'm turning up, baby.
Back Shoulder Fade, late edition, ESPN Fantasy Sports. They said OG Anunoby was going to be out indefinitely through Tuesday's game. Just check the fantasy app. He currently has 25 fantasy points through the 3rd quarter. So ESPN, suck it. Please get your fantasy app on a better track. I can't believe I watch your channel so much. I can't wait to get Yardback. I hate it, but all I do is watch it. So I hate myself for it.
So Connor hates ESPN and Pyramid Scheme, guys. So that's good to know. Never bring that up to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking about that, Thonmaker's Revenge Tour. That's my team name. Started off 1-4, won 3 in a row. Currently beating the best team in the league. So Thonmaker's absolutely getting his revenge in the last couple of years. All right, okay. Finally, we've been talking about this segment for a while now. We got the Yardback Top 10, really the Yardback Top 5, but Yardback Top 10. So Connor, start this list. Let's go.
All right. So, for all you listeners out there, you might be wondering, why is Yardback doing a top 10? First off, because ESPN does a top 10. And we think we're above ESPN's top 10. Because if you've ever seen their top 10 lately, it's trash. It's hot garbage. It's trash. It's not worth watching. I hate that I watch it every day because it makes me more upset than I was before it. Back in the day when Noel and I were young bulls, we watched it and we were like, oh, that was sick. And nowadays we watch it, at least I watch it, and I go, I just wasted 3 minutes of my life. And to Nolan's point, this isn't a legitimate top 10. It's just a top 5, but we're calling it Yardback Top 10 to steal some of ESPN's Top 10 thunder. So for this week's Yardback Top 10 segment, I pulled together the top 5 Super Bowl winners and their power rankings since the year 2000.
Okay.
So in this list, I power ranked them. I didn't include certain metrics, how many wins they had, all that. Specifically, I test power rank these teams and how they would compete against the rest of the winners since 2000.
Yeah.
Okay. So does that make sense to you too?
Kind of before you start, we will do this, the Yardback Top 10 segment. Only one person is going to give a list, and it's going to be on a topic that we will discuss beforehand, but we don't know his list. We don't know what the teams he has on it. We don't know what he's going to say, so we're also going in blind to this. So only one person going to give a Yardback Top 10 whenever we do this. So just to throw those ground rules out there. So Sean and I are going in blind. We have no idea what kind of tomfoolery this man is about to speak.
Yardback Top 10. So part of my Yardback Top 5, Top 10 list, I would like to throw an honorable mention out there before we start. Because as we all know, since the year 2000, the New England Patriots have won what? 6 Super Bowls?
Yep.
And going through all these lists, I looked at every single New England team to win a Super Bowl. And I thought, do they crack the top 5? And I was like, do they crack the top 5? So I decided to give them all honorable mention because every single New England team just seems the same to me.
No, I agree. I was talking about that with Sean before we came on, actually, that, like, they're kind of just – they were great teams, obviously, but, like –
great teams. The only one that sticks out to me is the team that lost, the one with Randy Moss.
Yep. Which is probably the best team they had.
Probably the best team in the history of the 2000s. But because they lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl, they don't make my power ranking team. So it's starting at number 5. We have the 2010 for those of you who don't speak in the 2010 language. Green Bay Packers.
That's 5.
That's number 5?
5. Now you might be curious why they're at number 5.
5.
As we know, Aaron Rodgers just stepped into his prime at this time. They actually had I'm looking it up now, but they had the 2nd-ranked defense that year.
Okay.
They had Greg Jennings. They had Mike McCarthy as their head coach. They were a top 5 scoring team, but I have them at number 5 because Aaron Rodgers was not yet in his prime. But they were nonetheless a great team with some great wins that season. So I have them at number 5 in my power rankings. Do you guys think I was going to have – by your reaction, I'd say you guys thought I was going to have them earlier in this?
No, I thought they'd be higher up.
Thought they'd be higher.
Okay.
I did. I wrote down what I thought, and they are in my top 5, but we have very opposite ends. So continue.
Okay. For reference, a couple articles I was referencing, there's been 55 Super Bowl winners, right? Or 54?
Mm-hmm.
Either 54, 55. Who cares? It's
55
a large number.
Yeah, 55 was this year.
A lot of people had them ranked in the bottom 10 of Super Bowl winners, and I don't understand why. Their defense all year, granted they finished 10-6 and they're a wild card team, their defense was 2nd in the NFL.
Yeah.
So with Aaron Rodgers, my quarterback, defense 2nd in the NFL, and you got guys like Greg Jennings on the outside. They're top 5 power ranking NFL team to win the Super Bowl.
All right. Okay.
At number 4, I have the 2019 Kansas City Chiefs.
Ooh.
You got Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid for a Super Bowl win. That defense, which is very underrated with guys like Chris Jones, Tyrann Mathieu, they were a bend, don't break. You're not going to see very strong numbers for their year performance. But they got to the playoffs, and we know what happened.
Yep.
They came back from every game down by more than 10 points. You got Patrick Mahomes and that offense flying high. And the team they beat in the Super Bowl, the Niners, is also another huge reason why they made the top 5. Similar to the Green Bay Packers that I had at 5, they beat the Steelers. So 2 great defensive teams that had an identity and was no easy feat beating them in the Super Bowl. So I got the Kansas City Chiefs from 2019 at number 4 on my power ranking list.
I don't got an issue with that.
Okay, good. I had them as high as 2, but because of recency bias and what happened this year, I couldn't put them that high. At number 3, we have the 2008 Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ooh.
The Mike Tomlin-led Pittsburgh Steelers. In 2008, they went ahead and beat the Arizona Cardinals. Kurt Warner and the Cardinals had one of the best offenses I've seen in my lifetime with Larry Fitzgerald, Anquan Bolden, and a whole heap of guys that could play the offense.
Yep.
Now, the reason I have them at number 3 is because, as we all remember, the Steelers' defense in the late, from 2005 to 2010, which is in 2005, they won a Super Bowl with Bill Cowher.
Yep.
I almost said Colin Cowherd.
Colin Cowherd. Beat the Seahawks.
But at number 3, I have the Steelers because of that defense with James Harrison, Troy Polamalu. And that offense, you had guys like Willie Parker, Hines Ward, Santonio Holmes. I mean,
made the catch,
and
dude.
Ben Roethlisberger hadn't hit his prime yet, but everybody knew he was a respectable OG quarterback. So I'm taking the Steelers at number 3, meaning that the Steelers would have beat the Chiefs and beat the Packers that I brought into that list.
Okay. And also, I would say that Super Bowl was one of the greatest I've ever seen in my entire life. That
Oh,
Steelers
mate.
Cardinals, absolutely
Top-notch.
fantastic. Absolutely
Top
fantastic.
Sean, I saw you had a slight head shake on that. Do you have an issue with the Steelers in my top 5?
Where's that logic with Big Ben and Aaron Rodgers there? Where's that consistency?
Whoa.
I'm just, that's all.
Whoa.
Continue.
Sean just loves Aaron Rodgers.
Ben Roethlisberger had 2 W's before Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl. That's all I got to say. At number 2, I have the Legion of Boom.
Let's go.
Now, some might say, let's put it this way. They put up 43 points to what was only 8 points
8, yep.
Yeah.
they gave up. And when you have a defense named like the Legion of Boom, similar to the Bears, Monster of the Midway, the Steelers back in the day, Steel Curtain, if you have a nickname like the Legion of Boom for your defense, you're top 5 easy. It was just whether or not where I wanted to put them. Now, at this point in 2013, Russell Wilson was a young buck. He wasn't what he is today, but you put up 43 points in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
That running game with Marshawn Lynch was stellar. So if I'm taking that Seahawks defense because of how dominant they were at that time, Earl Thomas, Byron Maxwell, Richard Sherman, Bobby Wagner, Malcolm Smith. I mean, I'm probably missing 3 or 4 names that were the cornerback number 31.
For who?
The Seahawks, Legion of Boom. You had
Cam
Earl
Chancellor?
Thomas, Cam
Cam Chancellor, yeah.
safety, yeah. Those 4 guys, that was the best secondary I've ever witnessed.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
insane, and that includes my flag football team's secondary with Zach Airy, Jake Foley, and Alex Smith. For those of you who know, that was the best flag football secondary in the history of secondaries.
Also, before you continue, kind of Earl Thomas, Sherman, and Chancellor. Sherman was 25, Thomas 24, Chancellor 25. That's crazy. That they were
I'm
so
pretty
young
sure
and
they
that
were
good.
all pro, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
At least
think so.
for sure, Pro Bowlers. I don't know about all pro. That's a very hard thing to get. But those 3 guys, and then Byron Maxwell was like the 4th secondary stud. And you got Bobby Wagner in the middle of that defense. And you have an up-and-coming Russell Wilson with Marshawn Lynch, Tyler Lockett, a couple other guys on the outside. That team was so ridiculous. And unfortunately, they lost the next year on some stupid-ass call by Pete Carroll.
Yeah, they should have.
That-
They should have
the
been back-to-back, yeah.
The 2013 Legion of Boom they're ridiculously well-rounded. And like I said, when you have a defense with that nickname, there's only a few defenses in the history of the NFL that have had a nickname like that.
Yeah, facts. All right, you want a drum roll?
Yeah, give me a drum roll for number 1.
You ready right now?
Yeah.
Just-
What's going on over there, Sean?
Say it. Go ahead and say it.
I think you might know who I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But at number 1, this team actually beat the number 4 team. Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
The best Super Bowl winning team we've seen in the last 20 to 21 years was the Tampa Bay Bucks in this last season. You can't tell me that there's another team I've mentioned that would knock off this team. Their defense and their offense, yes, we know they had their struggles throughout the year. But the fact that they knocked off the greatest offensive team that we've seen damn near ever in the Chiefs off of back-to-back Super Bowls.
With no tackles.
Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers of 2021 and 2020 is the number one in my power rankings over the last since 2000 and Super Bowl winners.
I actually think
name a team.
You're missing a team that I think could beat them.
Is it a Patriots team?
No. The 2015 Denver Broncos with Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, Talib, Chris Harris, Manning, Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, TJ Ward, Bradley Roby.
Bro.
Like, I'll admit the 2015 Broncos could.
If we were doing a top 10, yes, but they had Peyton Manning, who they lost to the Legion of Boom. They got thwarted by the Legion of Boom. And they beat the sorry-ass Panthers because Cam Newton decided to make a career decision. Yeah. So, Sean, they were fringe top 5. But I'm sorry, the Tampa Bay Bucks, with that offense and Tom Brady and that defense of front 7, I'm taking them to beat any team in the last 20 years and win a Super Bowl.
I'm not mad at that at all. I'm not mad. I think, personally, my list, I think that Legion of Boom should be number 1. I think that is the greatest Super Bowl team in the last 20 years by far. No one was beating Legion of Boom.
I put the 2010 Packers because
at number 1.
Yes, because of what they did. All their games were on the road. They had to go through Mike Vick in Philly. They had to go through Brian Urlacher, Julius Peppers in Chicago. They had to go through Atlanta, where they had to go through Matt Ryan and them. Then obviously on the road in the Super Bowl, they had to beat Troy Polamalu, James Harrison, Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, Antoine Randall L., Hines Ward, Emmanuel Sanders. They had to beat those guys, and they did it. So those 2010 Packers were special. Whatever, they were on a roll.
They were.
That's why they
made my top. They made my top 5, and that's that.
They made
the Tampa Bay Bucks are beating every other team that they play.
It's tough because the team.
Let me know
really
let me know how you real feel.
That team is really good.
They're top 5. I think Connor's right. I think they are a top 5 team. The Super Bowl winners.
They are really good.
I just think that I don't think anyone's beating that Legion of Boom with a young Russell Wilson, Marshawn Lynch, Doug Baldwin, Golden Tate, and that defense. No one's beating Legion of Boom.
Yeah, correction. Tyler Lockett was probably not on that team.
I think he was like a year or two after. It was Baldwin and Tate. They're all like little tiny slot guys.
They're all the same wide receiver.
But I don't know, man. The craziest thing about the Legion of Boom team, I just looked at their stats. The most sacks anyone had on that team was like, let me check right now. The most sacks anyone had was 5, Bobby Wagner. Like, what defense just doesn't get to the quarterback? Because they didn't have to. They didn't have to get to the quarterback because that's how good the DBs were.
The DBs, like, I remember watching that and just thinking, holy, the DBs on that team. I mean, I wish Chancellor and Maxwell I think Sherman will be a Hoffer. The other 3 won't be, but they should be, just because of how good that season was.
Yeah.
That's how elite and crazy that season was.
Also, fun fact, Sherman and Chancellor are both 5th-round picks. 5th-round picks. And Connor's number 1 team, Tom Brady, obviously, 6th, 7th, whatever Tom Brady was. So, diamonds in the rough, baby. Got to find them.
Yeah, baby.
That's a lesson. All right, but that was the first Yardback top 10, really top 5 list of the year. You want to run through it again real quick?
Yeah, one more time for the fans out there. At number 5, we have the 2010 Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers and the second best defense in the league, which is shocking even to me when I looked it up. At number 4, we have the 2019 Chiefs, probably one of the most spectacular playoff runs we've seen with all the 10-point comebacks, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid getting his first trophy, and a very underrated, talented bend-don't-break defense. At number 3, we have the 2008 Steelers with arguably the second best defense in the history of the Steelers, aside from the Steel Curtain, which we're too young to know. But legend has it it was an okay defense. And then number 2, we have the 2013 Seahawks, Legion of Boom, the best secondary ever created in the history of professional sports, along with a young and up-and-coming Russell Wilson, beast mode Marshawn Lynch, and some amazing wide receivers. And then number 1, recency bias as it will, Tampa Bay. I think this is the most well-rounded team a Super Bowl winner has ever been since the year 2000. Arguably top 5 all time. I know we have some greats, previously, but Tampa Bay this year was the most well-rounded and most confident I've been in a Super Bowl pick in 5 or 6 years. So they're number 1 in terms of top power ranked Super Bowl winner since the year 2000.
Sure. All right. I'm not mad about your list at all. I think one team that I would put in there would be the 07 Colts, 06-07, Peyton's first ring against the Bears. That offense was nasty. Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne. So I'd put them up there as well.
That's fair. I looked at them hard, and what the thing about all the AFC teams is that they had to go through the Patriots at some point. Yeah. But I thought the Colts against the Bears, they let them hang in too much. I mean, they're playing Rex Grossman.
Yeah, that Bears D was awesome too, but I agree.
So like I said, part of my list was about who they played. Tampa Bay playing the defending Super Bowl champs and Patrick Mahomes. Legion of Boom playing the historic Peyton Manning and Denver Broncos defense. You had the 08 Steelers playing maybe the best offensive teams since Kurt Warner was on the Rams with the Cardinals. Yep. The Chiefs playing the 49ers, which that defensive line, I've never seen anything like it, and they still figured out a way to win. And then the Green Bay Packers playing the Steelers. So that's kind of where I came from. That's why the Colts and even the Drew Brees 09 Saints did not make the list because of the teams that they played in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Makes sense.
I like that. I like that list a lot. But all right. Sean, you got any more qualms about his list? You want to talk about Aaron Rodgers a little bit more?
No.
Yeah, let me hear it.
Nope, it's fine.
All right, well, the next list we do, Sean, it'll be yours, and we'll be the ones flaming you guys, or flaming you instead of mad at Connor, but
won't be a need to. It'd be a perfect list.
All right, but again, that was a Yardback top 10, really top 5 though, because 10's a lot, so we do top 5. Any other closing thoughts, fellas?
No, man.
Yeah, ESPN, you're going down.
Yep. Okay.
Greatest top 5 list of all time.
Yardback top 5. Yeah. Stay safe. Wear a mask. COVID sucks. It's still there. Don't end up like me and my friends that are in quarantine and have COVID. It sucks. But if you are, that means you have more time to listen to our podcast. So thank you all so much for listening to episode number 21 of the Yardback Sports Podcast. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts or music, I think it's Apple Podcasts, make sure to give us the thumbs up, 5 stars, the whole shebang, because again, like I say every week, we are a 5-star podcast, I would like to say. Make sure to follow us on all our social medias at Yardback_sports at Twitter and on Twitter and Instagram. Look us up on Facebook. We have a Facebook group, Yardback Sports. We're always posting in there, having a good time, talking sports, whatnot. Also, look us up on YouTube so you can see our pretty faces. We're 3 handsome guys, and we look good on YouTube, and I make some cool graphics sometimes. So make sure to look us up on YouTube if you want to listen to the podcast there. But for Connor and Sean, my name is Nolan. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.